Hello everyone, welcome back to another Block Bro video, and today I am going over the Chapter 6 Season 1 map. This is the very final one going over previous chapter maps, and this one is just going over Chapter 6 Season 1. Very, very simple. This one I probably won't ever remake because this is going to be the time where you start realizing, oh hey, he's kind of cooking with the builds. So, I suppose, without further ado, we should hop straight into it with the grassland, the chaparral biome. This is the very first instance of such a biome. There's yellow grass, pine trees, and birches. Those are the primary trees that are in this area. The first POI is the mansion POI of this chapter, Regal Resort. This is also the team of five base. Also, at this time, the way the chapter 5 map went bye-bye was by the island flipping, just like Fortnite. I think I've already made that clear, where I do take a little bit of inspiration. Anyway, as you can see, there's a very simple, I guess, like, look with this. That's kind of pretty. It's really simple, I guess. Like, I don't really know how else to explain it other than it being simple. Some libraries. Over here we have an exit into the backyard, which is actually Withered Wastes, which is actually an entire POI on its own. We also have a pool back here, and we have the interior. And here we have a staircase going up to this floor, which is a little study. And then we have the thing that was the real question throughout the entire chapter. Who is Mesmer the Impaler? Mesmer the Impaler is actually Zero, and that's already explained, and I'm very excited to do the storyline explanation video, but we also have a Chrome EMP to stop the Chrome from spreading. And then we have Origin and Singularity's bedroom. Down here, we come across the map room and also the kitchen. This room is sort of for, like, just knowing what the map is, I guess. You also have a garage over here, and that is Regal Resort. We also have a landmark. This is Plum Paradise, and it's just a plum farm. It's kind of in the valley over here. There's a little bit of a path leading around. And this is also the first chapter where I started using the clone command to clone, like, things in order to make islands quicker and stuff. We have a lengthy levee. This is the first instance of a reservoir POI. Then we'll go to the swamp biome next. We have Boreal Bridge, which is just a bridge over to the Boreal Forest biome. And I just remembered that the center of the map of this chapter is not a mountain, and it's quite the opposite. We also kind of have this hill going down. It just kind of goes around, very simple. But now we have Pleasant Piazza. This was actually not taken from Fortnite. The name was my own, and then Fortnite just ended up creating a place named off the same thing. And it's sort of like it's just a normal town POI, but it's more in like a villa style, so it's like going up in a cool way to the top. Anyway, we have some of these birch trees here. Lengthy Levee is also just this little lake up here. Then we have Sludgy Swamp. Sludgy Swamp is actually the second instance of a swamp biome, or third instance since Chapter 2. Chapter 2 was the last time it was in the map, and swamps are actually one of my new favorite things to make. Anyway, just some very simple builds. Some of these are actually copied builds that made it into Chapter 7 just because they looked pretty good. Yeah, we also have a bit of mud sort of going down. We have that little land bridge. I really like that. You'll realize there is an insane amount of detail on this map. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of the basic idea. Boreal Bridge is simple. It's just a bridge. I already went over that. But that takes us over to the right-hand side of the island. Now, this is the major part of the island. First off, we have the biome called the Rocky Cliffs. This actually has no POIs, but it has a little landmark and its remembrance relics. Very similar, actually the same name from the Chapter 5 map. The cottage is at the highest point, Tortayan House at the second highest point, or actually, yeah, second highest point, and then Tortayan Clock Tower at the lowest. And you may be realizing there's a lot of these lakes around. Yeah, they're just lakes, I guess. Like that's kind of the whole thing. You'll also realize a little bit of Viking inspiration. So yes, this island is primarily northern Europe. So yeah, kind of northwest Europe. Um, and that leads us over to the actual boreal biome. This biome has 4 POIs. And to start off, we have this very simple POI down here called the graveyard. And actually, yeah, the graveyard. Very simple. Nothing really cool about it, I guess. It's just a graveyard. I really am thinking of maybe doing another graveyard POI. That is currently not in the planning books at the current moment, but there is a chance. And then this is a small Viking house, just kind of looks off into the sunset. We also have a little island down here. Yeah, you are probably realizing the amount of detail on this map. It's bonkers. Um, we have a POI I can't remember the name of. Um, yeah, that's what that is. Very simple POI. Supposed to represent singularity with the tech, origin with the crown, and then nexus with the sword. Very simple. And then we have this. Now, this used to be a lake. You can probably see that. But now it is regulating Ravish. Now, believe it or not, Chapter 7 has a POI called Revealed Ravish, which is very funny because this isn't actually a ravine at all. It's just a little, like, thing where there's the SEO are studying stuff. Once again, this is the most prominent chapter with the SEO other than Chapter 2. Wait, I'm pretty sure there was something in here at some point. Unless I'm stupid, I might be dumb. Over here we have, I think, the ruin. Oh no, the rubble. This is the highest point on the map. And it's kind of off to the right. This is my first actual go at a like a actual mountain biome. So yeah. And actually, I really do like the Chapter 6 mountain biome. It fits well because it like stays grounded and it's like near the ocean. The Chapter 7 mountain biome is only cliffs around the ocean, which is an issue. But we kind of have this nice little area up here. This is definitely one of my most detailed chapters, but Chapter 8 is going to completely one-up that. Next one, we have the Residence. Now, this is the main SEO POI. The Residence is kind of like encased in walls around like a bunch of areas, and it's just super cool. Also, this chapter is actually where the Chapter 2 map once took place. So we kind of have the ruins of the pyramid up here, which is actually something that wasn't shown in my tour, but it is the primary way for the last reality to kind of do stuff. We also have, this is probably the most cinematic mountain on the map. It just looks off into the distance and stuff. And then for our final mountain POI, we might as well go over Mountaineer's Mounds. Now, this is just a small igloo POI, definitely very unique. I have never actually done an igloo-themed POI since then, and I have been thinking it would be cool, but I have just not gotten to it. But there's also a bunch of these, like, overhanging cliffs, which is super unique, something I actually have not done in other chapters, so yeah. And our next POI, this one's in the Boreal Tundra biome. That's what this is. We have a little cave going to it from the Boreal Forest to the Boreal Tundra, and it's very simple. It's just a mine. And this actually, throughout the entire chapter, slowly got revealed because it actually would lead out into the little hill over here. It led out over here. Very, very fun idea. Anyway, this is Viking Valley, I think. Unless it's Viking Village? I think it's Viking Valley, though. Yeah, Viking Valley. This is the primary Viking POI, and I never did a Viking-themed anything, so this was my first go at it, and I took some inspiration from houses I saw on Google and kind of copied them block for block, but, you know, some of the stuff was custom. But yeah, it's in the Boreal Tundra. You have this farm over here. We actually have a little, like, piece of decay up here, which is the, you know, very cool. Up here, we have a little fisherman's house, but it's also, like, a dock area where you can kind of have, like, food and stuff. Very simple. Yeah. You have a nice little pond over here. Very, very simple. And I won't go over every single one of these houses, but they're all very simple. Another little lake down there. We have the logging in the shipyard, which is cool. One of my favorite shipyards I've ever done. Very unique, very different. And then we come across our final POI, but honestly, I don't count this as a POI alone. This is the Stave Church, and it actually is what shows the entire map. And I just realized I got that wrong. It is not our final POI, but very cool. You may also notice the Chrome is returned. The Chrome has made a comeback from Chapter 3. In this case, it's actually being run by Mesmer the Impaler, because Mesmer's power is connected to the Chrome. Over here we have Reaper's Regards, and then over here we have Reaper's Ridgelands. Yeah, very, very simple. This one thing actually teased every single season, other than the last one of Chapter 6. Because in the center we had a desert biome, in this direction we had a jungle biome, and then for our next one we had a bit of like a very like Japanese style biome, and also a bit of a red biome. Then for season 5 we had this biome, season 6 we had this moon biome looking thing, and then for season 7 we had a snow and volcano biome. And actually the map ended up becoming giant, like double the size, maybe even quadruple the size of the original map. I want to say more triple, I guess. But then we can go on to our final POI. This POI is really cool. This is Reaper's Refuge. Now, if you listen to Chapter 4, the main villain was named the Reaper. And the Reaper actually took refuge on the Chapter 2 map. And as we know, the island flooded and the 0 point... Oh, I didn't explain that. The island flooded and the 0 point kind of rebuilt it. So this was his main base of operations. Very unique. Yeah. I mean, very, very unique and simple kind of ideas, I guess. But it was one of my first goes at a cave POI, and Chapter 7 has a lot of cave POIs throughout the chapter. Season 4 in particular was the first main instance of practically only cave POIs. I want to say there was only one POI that wasn't a cave that season. But yeah, also to kind of represent the two themes of this chapter, I have a European style like bridge, and then an Italian theme as well. I forgot to go over that. An Italian theme bridge in Spanish kind of, and it's Spanish theme. That's what it is, not Italian. Spanish themed bridge and a Viking themed bridge right behind it. And this is one of my favorite bridges I've ever done. Like I don't know. That right there is my favorite bridge I've ever done, but this one, there's just something about it that is so unique, I guess. Like, it feels different when you look at it. But yeah, that, my friends, is the Chapter 6 Season 1 map. So yeah, if you like this video, please like, subscribe. Goodbye.